Good evening, students. Today we have to solve another two more problems. So you have to remember output equation for single phase transformer, output equation for three phase transformer, relations of two-stepped core, relations of three-stepped core, relations for rectangular core, relations for square core. Problem number 4. Calculate the approximate overall dimensions for a 200 kVA 6600 bar 440 volts 50 Hz core type transformer. Here it is missing three phase transformer. The following data may be used. So what is your idea? It is asked for the three-stepped core. Same problem number of times is repeated in VTU question papers for 10 marks. Put the double star, copy down the things, practice. So sometimes they may give three-stepped core only. What is the block I marked? They are not going to give the values. It may be hidden. Hence, for three-stepped core, we have to remember the relation. So net iron area AI equal to 0.6 times of D square, and width of largest stamping A equal to 0.9 times of D. Remember whether they should mention or should not mention. Sometimes only use two-stepped core, previous problem. Now use three-stepped core. So we have practiced in last class. So what are the given datas? You write down with symbol. ET equal to 10 volts, BM equal to 1.3 Webers per meter square, window space factor KW equal to 0.3, current density 2.5 amperes per millimeter square, stocking factor SF 0.9, given thing three-stepped core, net iron area 0.6 D square, A equal to 0.9 D. And one more very important thing, he has given overall height of the transformer is equal to overall width, that is capital H equal to capital W. Again these values depends upon type of transformer, whether single phase or three phase. These equations are going to change. Sir, one or two problems you do with your own heart, then same procedure repeat same. Take the calculator, start with doing the formula. ET is given, ET equal to 10 volts is given. We know that ET is also equal to 4.44 F phi m. So phi m equal to BM into AI. We have to design or we have to calculate net iron area. So you replace phi m equal to BM into AI. If phi m is given, phi m you can take, no problem. So net iron area becomes 0.0347 meter square. Earlier I mentioned that we are using three-stepped core. You write the relation. For three-stepped core, net iron area is equal to 0.6 times of D square. Hence, from the above expression, substitute the value, go for the calculation of diameter, that is diameter of circumscribing circle. So D equal to 0.24 times meter. Width of largest stamping, width of largest stamping A equal to 0.9 times of D. Hence A equal to 0.216 meters. Using three-stepped section of the core, same thing is also for yoke. Hence height of the yoke, that is HY, HY equal to width of largest stamping. It becomes 0.216 meter. Similarly, depth of yoke DY, it also becomes width of largest stamping 0.216 meters. So given transformer is of three phase. Hence we have to determine another unknown parameter, area of window. Hence it is available from output expression. So Q equal to, write down for three-phase transformer and substitute all the values. Substitute all the values. 200 kVA is there, you substitute 200 only. Rest of all things substitute, keeping AW as it is. So here 2.5 current density value into 10 to the power of 6, that only you have to take the care. Current density is given once again, it is in amperes per millimeter square, hence we have to multiply by 10 to the power of 6, 2.5 into 10 to the power of 6. Hence area of window becomes 0.0355 meter square. One more condition is given, height of window into width of window, that will give area of window. We can use this relation afterwards. Now what is given? Overall height equal to overall width, that is capital H equal to capital W. So for three-phase transformer, what is the expression for overall height? H equal to HW plus 2 times of HY. HW we don't know the value, so what are the values are available, you substitute. So you call the equation number 1. Similarly, develop the expression for overall width. So overall width W equal to 2 times of D plus A. D is distance between adjacent core centers. Capital D is distance between adjacent core centers. This D may be equal to WW plus D, width of window, plus diameter of circumscribing circle. You develop the equation number 2. You develop the equation number 2. Then as per the given condition, overall height equal to overall width, you develop the or equating from equations 1 and 2. So you replace one parameter. I want to replace HW. HW equal to 2 times of WW plus 0.64. 0.264. You call the equation number 3. So earlier we are knowing the area of window. So area of window is also equal to height of window into width of window. So HW into WW equal to 0.0355. You replace the HW value in terms of WW. Then it finally results a quadratic equation. Then you solve that. Then you may get width of window, that should be equal to 0.083 meter. Once you are knowing the WW, then from the area of window expression, width of window, then you calculate the height of window. AW equal to HW into WW. Once you are knowing HW, WW, then you move there, distance between core centers. Distance between core centers, capital D equal to width of window, WW plus D. Then it becomes finally 0.332 meters. So we are coming to an edge. You are knowing all the dimensions. Then finally you calculate the height, overall height of frame. So capital H equal to HW plus 2 times of HY. We are going to get as 0.86 meters. Similarly, overall width W equal to 2 times of D plus A, that is also 0.862 meters. You must get, condition is given, earlier condition is given. So this problem has been asked number of times in VTU examination workout. So problem number 5, the ratio of flux to the full load MMF in a 400 kVA single phase transformer is 2.4 into 10 to the power of minus 6. That is, this problem is mainly depends upon derivation of K and ET and Q, what is the relation between EMF per turn to the kVA rating? So already we are knowing ET equal to K times of under square root Q. So while deriving the steps, you are knowing intermediate steps. The ratio of phi m by AT is taken as a R. This should be taken as some constant term. Getting the idea? And final expression K equal to 4 times F into R into 10 to the power of 3. 4.44 F into R into 10 to the power of 3 under square root. Only change is R value is replaced. R equal to phi m by AT. Getting the idea? Phi m by AT value is given 2.4 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Hence, you determine K value. So, K becomes 0.732, sir. Coming to your main expression, voltage per turn ET equal to K under square root of Q. It is given 400 kVA. Then you determine ET value. It becomes 14.64 volts. Then you determine flux phi m value by knowing ET expression. ET equal to 4.44 F phi m. So phi m equal to 0.066 Webers. Once you are knowing the phi m, once you are knowing the Bm, then you calculate the net iron area. Net iron area equal to phi m divided by Bm. So again you go to the output expression, determine area of window. You write down the expression for kVA rating, Q equal to output equation, then you substitute all the values. Finally, we are going to get AW. AW equal to 0.077 meter square. Once you are knowing all the values, he asked what is the full load MMF. What is the full load MMF? The ratio is given ratio, it is having a answer itself. So what is the given? The ratio of flux to the full load MMF. The ratio of flux to the full load MMF is equal to 2.4 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Hence, you determine full load MMF, that is ampere turns, equal to flux divided by that value ratio. So we are going to get 27,500 angstrom. Next, design of windings. It consists the calculation of number of turns, both primary and secondary, then calculation of primary current, secondary current, then cross sectional area of primary conductor as well as secondary conductor. So we are having the value of ET, that is volts per turn. Hence, if I want to calculate number of turns of primary winding, TP equal to voltage of primary winding divided by voltage per turn. Voltage of primary winding divided by voltage per turn. Then voltage divided by voltage per turn. Voltage going to cancel. Turn you are going to get. TP. If you are calculating TP, you take the ratio of voltage, respective voltage of VP. Similarly, the number of turns of secondary winding TS equal to Vs by Et. Vs by Et. Then you are getting secondary turns. So in usual practice, we have to design first LV winding turns. So first point. Second point, we have to adjust the turns. LV winding turns per phase is an integer. ET value we have to adjust. We have to get nearly an integer. Then there is no fraction value of turns. That is the idea. So that's why we have to calculate first TB, that is T2, number of turns on LV side. After that, once you are knowing the number of turns on LV side, then take the ratio turns of high voltage side divided by turns of low voltage side equal to voltage of high voltage, voltage of low voltage. That is similar to T2 by T1 equal to V2 by V1 turns ratio. Sir, if the tappings are located in the middle part of HV winding, then it should ensure the symmetry. If the tappings are used, then proper voltage ratio should be mentioned. Then calculation of primary winding current IP, it is very important. How you are going to calculate IP? kVA per phase. That means if single phase, no problem. If three phase is there, kVA per phase, that is Q divided by 3. Convert into volt ampere into 10 to the power of 3. Convert into volt ampere divided by respective voltage, that is primary voltage. If I want to calculate primary current, then it is divided by primary voltage. Similarly, the secondary current IS, that also same thing, kVA per phase into 10 to the power of 3 divided by PS. Or you can take the ratio, I1 by I2 equal to V2 by V1, because current is reversed for transformation ratio. This is also one method. After knowing the calculation of primary current and secondary current, next comes assumption of current density in the suitable windings. What is the value we have to use current density? Sir, what is the limitation of the current density? That is one fact, local heating and efficiency. Local heating directly proportional to copper loss. The choice of current density mainly depends upon two factors. One is I square hour loss, second one is temperature rise in the winding, because as the rating of transformer goes on increasing, we have to select higher value of current density. Hence, it depends upon I square R loss. I square R loss is proportional to heating effect. It will affect on temperature rise. Hence, to keep the temperature rise under safe limit, then we have to go for selection of better cooling techniques. Low rating, low technique of cooling. Medium rating, medium technique of cooling. High rating, sophisticated cooling system is required. Remember, cooling is proportional to rating of transformer, either I square or loss, because we have to keep the theta under safe limit. For this purpose, in general, for distribution type of transformer up to 50 kVA, self oil cooled type cooling, so we have to use our permissible value of current density is 1.1 to 2.3 amperes per millimeter square. For larger rating of transformer, power transformers, self oil cooled type or air blast cooling, the current density permissible value is 2.2 to 3.2 amperes per millimeter square, because cooling is superior as compared to this one. So we can differentiate for simple machine in our institute. We are using the cooling techniques of ventilation. Induction motors are provided on the shaft. There is a fan. As the motor rotates, fan also rotates. Then ventilation or natural air circulation, that only provides the cooling. But what are the machines are using in power generation units? Larger rating of transformers are there, 200 kVA. In such case, very high cooling, very high loss is produced, very high current density can be used. Under such case, heat exchanger units, sophisticated cooling system can be used. Then after assuming the current density, the cross sectional area of primary conductor AP equal to IP by respective current density. IP primary current density. Now current density is in amperes per millimeter square, so we are going to get area, it is in millimeter square. Similarly, the secondary winding conductor AS, again same thing, respective current density, answer should be in millimeter square. Thank you, sirs.